Welcome back, everyone. Doing well? I hope so. We are reacting to myself, reacting to the history of the entire world, I guess. Why am I doing this? First off, um, I don't know. It's been 500 plus days since I reacted to this video. Back in October of 2024. Today is the 14th of March, but might not be watching that on that day. Obviously, you aren't. 2026. I really you can skip to me reacting to the reaction, but real quick, just a disclaimer on this whole thing. I I've obviously have personally grown in my knowledge of history since I started this journey 509 days ago. I believe that I've eclipsed far beyond where I imagined I would be able to, mainly because of you guys. Your recommendations, your context, your commentary, your messages, and then learning via so many great YouTube channels has really allowed myself to, to learn and to get to a spot where I feel a little better. I feel a little better about how I view the world and view history. So I'm going to laugh at myself 509 days ago. Now, myself is still a novice, still a novice of history. However, I feel like I'm in a little better spot than I was 500 days ago. Let's jump right in and see what we have. Yo, what's good, everyone? This is Shields. How y'all doing? Let me just make sure something real quick. Well, we are set to go. How y'all doing? Okay. As you see, this video is history of the entire world, I guess. This is the first official upload of the kickoff of this channel, really. We're gonna jump to the, I don't know really a better place to start. You want, actually, we'll watch it. Yeah, this video was really fun to do because it's obviously like such an interesting thing to start with, just because it eclipses pretty much everything in history. Let's see what this channel is about. Go to the channel, like go to the actual channel, and you'll see a channel trailer. Yeah, that video is not there anymore. I re-uploaded a different one. All right. By the way, I still have the same background. It's the Gardens of Nineveh. Tell you all that, but let's get into it. We're going to react to The History of the Entire World, I guess, by Bill Wirtz. This has been around for a long time, like 7-8 years at least. I've watched it a couple times before. I pretty much have seen it, but I haven't really reacted to it. I've never reacted to it. I've never really spent like a little bit of time and really dissected it. That's what we're going to do here today. Let's see how far we can get without pausing, but we're going to pause if need be. Let go. Hi, you're on a rock floating in space. Oh my god, the audio is horrible. I'm going to turn it up. Sorry if it's loud.
Space. Pretty cool, huh? Some of it's water. Fuck it. Actually, most of it's water. I can't even get from
here. Yeah, you guys can barely hear that, can you? It's all... Hold on. My commentary might be loud, but...
Here to there without buying a boat. It's sad. I'm sad. I miss you. How did this happen? A long time ago. Actually, never. And also now. Nothing is nowhere. When? Never. Makes sense, right? Like I said, it didn't happen. Nothing was never anywhere. That's why it's been everywhere. It's been so everywhere, you don't need a where. You don't even need a when. That's how every it gets.
Okay.
Like this. I want to be something. Go somewhere. Do something. I want things to change. I want to invent time and space. And I know it's possible because everything is here and it probably already happened. I just don't know when to start. And that's exactly where it started. Oh, I paused it. I think there's a universe now. What's it made of? Quarks and stuff.
Interesting. Quarks and stuff. See, like already, like 2 seconds in, or like 53 seconds in, there's already an entire topic to dissect. Quarks. Yeah, something in physics. It's like the smallest possible thing that atoms are made of, right? I have no idea what quarks are. Oh, how we have changed. I'm not gonna lie if I'm ignorant to something, because that's just gonna do me no justice. Nope. Let me know what quarks are. I'll look it up after this too, but let me know. I don't think I did that. What your interpretation of quarks are. Let's keep going.
Ah, that's a thing in a place. Don't like it? Try a new place. at a different time.
I wonder if that's what quarks are.
Try to stick together because the world is going to get bigger and emptier. But
I
it's
don't
not
know what
empty
that
yet.
means.
It's still very full and about a jillion degrees. Great news, the quarks are now happily married in
Yeah.
called a proton or a neutron. And
Okay, so that's what quarks are.
there's something else flying around too
That didn't actually explain what quarks are, but yeah.
that wants to join in but can't because it's still too... Great news, the protons and neutrons are now happily married to each other. Some of them even doubled up. Great news, the electrons have now joined in.
Elements.
Congratulations, the world is now a bunch of gas in space. But it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together.
One thing that's interesting is that that's the Big Bang, but Bill Wirtz was actually showing like things happening prior to the Big Bang, which makes you think that the universe is cyclical in his theory.
It's a star.
By the way, these are all estimates, obviously.
New shit just got made.
Or am I totally freaking off per usual? And he was just showing like how a star was made, which is exactly what it looked like. All right, we got basic elements. Yep.
Some stars burn out and die.
By the way, when I started this channel, I didn't just do like history stuff, even though the channel is literally called, I think the channel used to be called the We Project. And then it, like with that, we did like science and history reactions on the same channel. And it evolved into We React to History. That's exactly what happened actually. But yeah.
Stars burn out and die with passion and make some brand new way.
So byproducts of supernova explosions are this. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So without supernovas, I'm gonna be made fun of. Yes, you are. Would we even have gold? It's crazy. Okay.
Crazier shit. Which allows newer, more interesting stars to be made and then die and explode into So now stars have cool stuff around them, like rocks, ice, and funny clouds, which can make some very interesting things. Like this ball of flaming rocks, for example. Holy shit, we just got hit with them.
And by the way, that's a theory. I think that's probably one of the leading theories, that a Earth-like size object hit Earth, and then said object kind of like moved off Earth and created moon. I think that's a leading theory.
Another ball of flaming rocks, and it kind of made a mess, which is weather update. It's raining rocks from outer space. Weather update.
Okay, so we're on Earth 4 billion years ago, 4.5 billion years ago to be exact.
Those rocks might have had water inside them, and now there's hot steam in the sky. Weather update. Cooler temperatures today, and the floor is no longer lava. Weather update. It's raining. Severe flooding alert the entire...
By the way, obviously it's very much like Earth science until like, I don't know, civilization starts.
Our world is now an ocean. Volcano alert. That's land. There's life in the ocean. What? Something's alive in the ocean. Oh, cool. Like a plant or an animal? No. A microscopic speck. It lives at the bottom of the ocean.
Zooplankton.
Eats chemical soup, which is being served hot and fresh.
So this is where the single-celled organisms started to get in. Isn't that eukaryote? Eukaryote? Is that right? So we started getting the volcanic eukaryotes here. Beginning of time for the Earth.
Made from gnarly space ingredients left over from when it was raining rocks or whatever. Oh yeah, and it can do that. Which is
this level of life, we believe, is very much present on a lot of planets and moons in our solar system.
It has secret instructions written inside itself telling it how to build another one of itself. So that's pretty nifty, I would say. Tired of living at the bottom of the ocean? Now you can eat sunlight. Using a revolutionary technique, you can convert sunlight into food. Side effect, now there's oxygen everywhere and the sky's blue. Then the Earth might have been a snowball for a while, maybe even a couple of times. It's a sponge, it's a plant, it's a worm, and some other...
Wait, where? How far back are we?
Maybe even a couple of times.
Right. -5, so 5 might be too early. 100 million years ago.
It's a sponge,
okay.
It's a plant, it's a worm, and some other types of weird, strange water bugs and strange fish.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Cambrian explosion. I'm nodding my head like, yeah, I knew what that is. I don't know what that was.
But we're still in the ocean. Hey, can we go on land? No. Why? The sun is a deadly laser. Oh, okay.
I can't just... I just can't. It's just so great. I love that there's things like this out there that really break things down.
Now the animals can go on land. Come on, animals, let's go on land. Nope, can't walk yet. And there's no food yet, so I don't care. Okay, will you learn to walk if there's plants up here? Maybe, said some bugs and fish.
Bugs.
Okay, so I can go on land, but I have to go back in the water to have babies.
Which is exactly what amphibians do, right? So it's still like it shows you how like through evolution some things kind of stay in certain verticals. Okay, so amphibian.
Learn to use
I caught that.
an egg.
I was already doing that.
Use a stronger egg. Put water in it. Have a baby
Reptile.
on land in an egg. Water is in the egg. Baby in the egg, in the water, in the egg. Works for me.
So it's crazy with the evolution. You know, you have fish that are in the water, and then the fish from amphibians, and they have to go back to the water. Then amphibians become reptiles, then reptiles become mammals, and birds. Reptiles become birds and mammals at kind of like the same time. Yeah, I'm still on the same wavelength. So crazy.
And now
It is crazy.
It's huge. Including roads. Want to see a map of the land? Sure. Oh fuck, now everything's dead. Just kidding, here are the survivors. Keep your eye on this one because it's about to become the dinosaurs. Here's another map of the land. Yeah, it broke apart. Don't worry about it. It does that all the time. Here comes a
So Pangea's Pangea's gone. Done. Are we already at the Yucatan? Oh.
It's mammal time. Here come the mammals. Look at those breasts. Now they're gonna dominate the world, and one of them just learned how to grab stuff and walk. No, like walk like that.
Bipedal.
At the same time. They bang rocks together to make pointed rocks. Ouch. And set things on fire. Youch. And make crazy sounds with their voice.
Yeah, so we basically have gone through all prehistory already. So everything after this is going to be history.
Which can mean different things.
All right, so we're already at 200,000 years. So that basically, so Homo sapiens are all over everywhere. Sort of. Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, maybe a little bit Neanderthals, but mostly Homo sapiens. Actually, you're right.
And now they're everywhere. Almost. What?
20,000. By the way. What? I'm gonna say that they could have been here earlier. So basically, with the Bering Land Bridge right here, where you have people migrate from Asia into the continent of North America, there has been a proven. It's proven that there was actual people in North America previous to this, even. Yeah. In White Sands, New Mexico. So yes, I really like that case study. So yeah, footprints. They have footprints alongside the mammoths, alongside a lot of different creatures that like this the giant sloth. What had happened is actually in, I think it's White Sands, New Mexico. There's pretty much desert, and the footprints in the desert basically sink down into the sand. I sound like I have no idea what I'm talking about, but just hang with me. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. I need to turn my volume up a little bit to match the volume of my previous self. With me for a second. The footprints kind of like they stay unbothered for a while, and then it erodes all the way. Well, it doesn't erode down, but basically what happens is sand flies above, and dirt, and just many years of sand and dirt starts to come above these footprints of these different animals and humans, and then over time it kind of fossilizes the print of where an indention happened. You see this with water eroding all the time. It stays like an actual like erosion event has occurred. It'll stay the same. Well, the footprints are the same way. Then over time, scientists are actually able to do surveys of these land, these deserts, and actually see the discrepancies under the sand, and then excavating that, they're able to find these footprints that have survived millennia, thousands of years. Okay, long story short, my man, the footprints are under layers of sediment, and because of that, it evades erosion. And the carbon dated, they're able to assume with, a lot of the, how the soil is and how the sand is and the layering. They're able to assume the time period, but then they're able to back that up and cross check that with different. I believe there was several cases where there was actually plants or some berries or whatnot. That's the only way they could do radiocarbon dating. That had fossilized under there as well, and they were able to carbon date that, of course. So yeah, 20,000 years ago. But I took way too long to talk about that. Humans were there a little bit before that.
What? You can walk over here? Cool. Well, I guess we're stuck here now. Let's review. There's people on the planet, and they're chasing their food. Fuck it, time to plant some grass. Look at this. I control the food now. Now everyone will want to be my friend and live near me. Let's all build houses, except mine is bigger because I own the food. This is great. I wonder if anyone else is doing this. Tired of using...
Okay, so we're already like at 5,000 to 3,000 years BC at this point. There you go.
Copper Age.
There it is.
Better farming was just invented in a sweet dank valley right in between these two rivers, and the animals are helping.
Mesopotamia, by the way. Oh no. Oh no, I already know what I'm gonna say. Mesopotamia right here. Pretty much the cradle of civilization right here. I think I thought that this was Mesopotamia. Not my background, but my background. I thought that was actually Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is a region, right? It's not like a place. I thought it was a place in 500 days ago. This is the Gardens of Nineveh, which I believe. Let me see if I'm still a novice. I believe it still is like a part of Babylon. Might be mistaken there, but I think that's what it was. But I thought this is Mesopotamia. No, I guess. Of course, the Middle East. Middle East pretty much holds this realm for about the next 5,000 years. We're gonna see the cradle of civilization pretty much spawn here, and you're gonna have other empires start to, like China, Indus River Valley, which Indus River Valley I don't think is really an empire. I think it was a civilization that was along the Indus River, and then it kind of like there was it was called Harappan. It was like the Harappan civilization, but the Aryan events kind of like displaced them. China's a crazy one, obviously. Egypt, of course, Egypt eventually, but yeah. Eventually, I said, but I think Egypt's happening.
Food and more people who came to buy the food. Now you need people to help make the food and keep track of the sales. And now you need houses for people to live in. And houses. And now there's more people and they invent things, which makes things better. And more people come and there's more farming and more people to make more things for more people.
And I don't think I was realizing this when I'm watching this, but like now it's obvious. Like this, so much happened right there in that Fertile Crescent in Mesopotamia in terms of like the Bronze Age civilization, and then we have all these like anecdotal stories that are like all over the place about these different cities that are buried in the sand. It's quite amazing.
People, and now there's business, money, writing, laws, power, society.
Beautiful.
Coming soon to a dank river valley near you. Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, the horse is probably being tamed. Why is all my metal so lame and lumpy? Tired of using lame, sad metal? Introducing bronze, made with...
And then we have the Bronze Age collapse. No, not yet.
Ingredient tin from the far lands of Tinland. I don't know, my dealer won't tell me where he gets it. Also, guess what? Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, they figured out how to put wheels.
I went backwards. What did I say? Okay, so now we're minus 2,000. So Egypt's already been, it's about like 700 or 800 years of Egyptian rule. I mean, sure. The old kingdom in Egypt is like long gone. We're, probably, I'm not even sure. Are we in the Middle Kingdom yet? It goes Old, Middle, New Kingdom in Egypt. Yes. It's like their three great periods of time. Well, yeah, I mean, sure. And we're already, we're moving fast.
Also, China. And did I mention Indus River Valley civilization?
Norte Chico, which is,
Peru?
I think Peru. I think that's Peru. I think it's Peru.
The Middle East is getting more complicated. Maybe
Ish. Okay.
Because it's in the middle of the East.
So we got the Babylonians.
Or Clop Clop. It's the people with the horses. And they made an empire. And then everyone else copied their horses. Greeks. Ah, look, it must be the Greeks.
We're moving so fast.
Let's check in with the Indus River Valley civilization.
It was the Proto-Greeks, and then Indus is gone.
They're gone. Guess who's not gone? China. New arrivals in India. Maybe it's those horse people.
So we're already at minus 1200. Okay.
I was talking about are their cousins or something. And they wrote some hymns and mantras and stuff. You could make a religion out of this.
So we got Hinduism basically starting. We have the different empires and kingdoms that are going to be spawning all over India that eventually become what India is.
There's the Bronze Age collapse. Now the Phoenicians can get down to business. Also, can we switch to a metal that's a little easier to find? Thanks. Look who came back to Israel. It's the 12
By the way, they were using iron obviously while bronze was a thing.
tribes of Israel. And they believe in God. Just one though. He's got
Judea.
program.
Judea. Yahweh? Or did I say Judea?
Here's some huge heads. Must be the Olmecs. The Phoenicians make some
Olmecs.
copy our idea and make some colonies. The Phoenicians made a colony so big it makes colonies. Here.
Ooh. It's crazy because at this time I barely knew anything about Carthage, nothing about the Punic Wars, but it's so interesting now because of the Punic War, like knowledge I have of the Punic Wars and kind of like how it rivaled Rome at such a huge degree. Oh, so cool. At this point, I had no idea who Carthage was really, and I've heard of it, but I didn't think it was much more than like a small city state. And then obviously we're about to see the rise of Rome. It's Carthage, which I love just trickling in things because I know he's not going to cover everything. Carthage is going to be the precursor to the empire. The Phoenician Empire, of course, took over the entire Mediterranean. Of course, Greece. No. Greece took over a lot, but yeah, kind of sharing that title for. Okay, he's not the wrong for the most part. But the Phoenicians and Carthage, which Carthage is a byproduct of Phoenicia, pretty much take over this area right here and control a lot of the trade, a lot of the naval area. But then Sicily and other islands, and then of course Italy. Rome becomes Rome in about 1,000 years or so. I don't know what year we're in, so but Rome becomes Rome in like 7 something. Forget what 7. Which year in 7 something. But the monarchy, and then soon after the monarchy, the republic, and the republic, of course, evolves and fights Carthage. So I'm not sure where we are technically in this time frame right here. Me either. But it's coming together.
Here comes the Assyrian Empire. Never mind, it's the Babylonian Median. It's the Persian Empire.
So quick right there. And the Persians, obviously, they take over a lot of the Greek Athenian city-states. You see that obviously in 300. I mean, they don't take over. They rival. They actually give them a run for their money, right? Obviously, we have the battle. I think we're closing in on the battles of like Marathon and Salamis and Thermopylae, and then we're going to see some league forming to kind of like combat the pressure of Persia. And a lot of times this Persian Empire is actually overtaking Egypt and in their own right becoming pharaohs. But then of course Alexander's going to come out of this in Macedon. Persia has a long list of rulers, not just Xerxes, but not just Xerxes, more like not just Darius or Cyrus the Great. They really Darius take over the entire land. And I mean, we see this from the Macedonian Empire, the Roman Empire, eventually the Huns, not the Huns, the Khans. I'm going through them all. What's it called? The Khans, eventually. The Khans. Yes, the Khans, which means king for Mongol. But yeah, it's just, this land is just so, and these borders, you gotta remember when you're looking at these borders, there's not about to say that these borders are just arbitrary. It's not like there was a wall or there's we don't look, unless we're talking about Trajan or Hadrian, then there was a wall. Look at borders, they're looking at borders through history. This is assumed territory, meaning this is what the rulers have said that they rule. This is the land that is wrote into text, on tablets. We control from here to here. That's usually the language from here to here, from A to B. These are a lot of imaginary lines that you're seeing here. So like, I mean, borders are still imaginary lines in a lot of sense today, unless there's like some sort of strict airspace or like most modern countries do have some sort of border control. So I won't say that without acknowledging that. Every time up until like I would say 1,000 AD, or yeah, 1,000 AD, 1,000 years after we switched from
We
BC to
switched.
AD.
We didn't just switch. It was never mind.
These borders are just, they're there, but are they really like, if it's not a fortress, if it's not a wall, what's really distinguishing borders? It's very subjective.
Wow, that's big. Ah, the Buddha was just enlightened. Who's the Buddha? This guy who sat under a tree for so long that he figured out how to ignore the fact that we're all dying. You can make a religion out of this. Oops, China just broke, but while it was breaking, Confucius was figuring out how to have good morals.
By the way, I China breaks a lot in
Yeah,
history.
they do.
It breaks a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised I knew that. But yeah,
The Greeks just had the idea of thinking about stuff, and right over here, Alexander just had the idea of conquering the entire Persian Empire.
There's the Macedonians. Basically, just conquest. Conquest is just so interesting, right? Because you have the Persians, Macedonians, eventually the Romans. It's just so it's.
I mean the Romans won't be over here for a little bit, but yeah.
It's so crazy because the interest, it's when the ruler, the face of the empire, when the face of the empire dies, the inheritance goes to the children usually.
Usually,
And with the corrupt,
unless we're talking about what we're seeing on the screen, where it goes to the Daidaki, the generals.
that is encased in a lot of this, and then of course a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. A lot of this land just gets divvied up between
Yeah, at least I'm very much aware of power vacuums at this state of time.
the children, and at most you have a situation where you have a split kingdom or different realms or different kingdoms within the empire itself. But you know it's interesting to kind of like really dive in and see the cause and effects. But yeah, Macedonia.
It's a great idea. He was great. And now he's dead. Hopefully, the rest of the gang will be able to share the empire evenly between them. Knock knock, it's Chandragupta. He says, "Get the hell out of here. Will you get the hell out of here if I give you 500 elephants?" Okay, thanks, bye. Time to conquer all of India. Or most of India. But what about this part? That's the Tamil Kings. No one conquers the Tamil Kings. Who are the Tamil Kings? Merchants, probably.
In this little spot of India, the which eventually becomes Sri Lanka, and then of course the the peninsula here, it all, for the most part, it just stays like divided between like two or three kingdoms. I cannot remember these names. Kola, Kavola, something like that. I excuse my ignorance, but like for the longest time, for about 1,000 years or so, this area has pretty much stayed the same.
I don't think that's wrong. I think that's actually correct.
And they've got spices. Who would like to buy the spices? Me, said the Arabians, swiftly buying it and selling it to the rest of the world. Hey, China put itself back together again, with good morals as their main philosophy.
For a little bit.
Three main philosophies. Out here, the horse nomads run wild and free, and they would like to ransack your city. Let's check the Greekification levels of the Greekified kingdoms. Greekification overload.
Yeah, and by the way, anytime you see Hellenistic, that's Greek.
There we go.
Parthians,
Sort of.
Jews. Hi, said the Parthians, taking over the entire place.
And then we had the Parthians, which I had no idea who the Parthians were at the time at all. Obviously, they're going to be a huge rival to Rome.
Hey, said the Romans, eating the entire.
So, okay, so
And the funny thing is, I really didn't understand the evolution of Romans at all. But obviously, like I said before, monarchy, republic, conquest, empire, etc., etc. But I don't know what this looks like about the time of Sorry, not Alexander, but Octavian, Augustus. Yeah, that's his name. The revered. Because we don't really have much of Britain here. The Rhine is pretty secure.
Yeah, this has got to be around the same time of Augustus. So this is pre. This is pre, unless he didn't include it. This is pre-Britain invasion of Rome. So, well, we did invade. We, like I'm a Roman, they did invade with Caesar, but I think Tiberius or Caligula when they went back. We could be anywhere between like 100 BC here, somewhere in that realm. Not bad. About to get to. We're about to, yeah, we're about to get to Jesus, probably. We're about to get to Jesus. There it is. So yeah, we're right around like 20, 30, 80.
Been killed for being too popular, which only makes him more popular. You can make a religion out of this. Want silk? Now you can buy it from China. They just made a or you can get their own water. Sick, new trade routes, said India, accidentally spreading their religion to the entire southeast. That's a good place for an epic trading kingdom.
And there's not gonna, I don't know if they talk a lot about the South China Sea, the Indian Ocean area over there, the South Pacific. But there's just so much happening on the Philippines islands and then like the Malay islands. Like a lot of like civilizations start popping up or down. Yes, like chieftains. There's a bunch of chieftains over there. Australia and Tasmania is kind of just indigenous for the most part. You might have some outposts, but not really. I don't think you get outposts until the Age of Discovery. Yeah.
There goes Buddhism traveling up the Silk Road. I wonder if it'll reach China before it collapses again. Remember the Persian Empire? Yep, said the Persians, making a new one. Axum is
Fascinating. So we're getting close to Islam.
Getting so powerful they would like to build a long stick. Has anyone
Obelisk.
populated Madagascar?
Yeah.
Let's do it together.
Wait, let's go back.
Has anyone populated Madagascar yet? Let's do it together.
The Malay. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Malay. I forget their language. But yeah, Madagascar kind of like has like Malagasy, I think. It has like an overall like kingdom-ish vibe to it. Then there's also split between these two. It's interesting. Yep.
Still can't cross the Sahara Desert? Try camels. Hell yeah, now we got business.
And then this is the Mali Kingdom, right?
Said the Ghana Empire selling.
Oh, it's the Ghana Kingdom. Yeah. Ghana Empire. Here we are. I was so bad on that one. I should have known that.
And I was wondering, is loving Jesus legal yet?
300?
No. Actually, okay, sure, said Constantine, moving the capital way over here to be closer to his main rival. Don't worry about Rome, it won't fall.
I'm gonna go back here because I love, as soon as I know something, I love like immediately. So the fish here is actually associated a lot with Christianity. And I really didn't know this till recently, but the fish actually represents Pisces. Ah, it's the year of the Pisces, yeah. Now, Pisces in astrology, the astrological calendar of certain phases of the world and the shifts and the stars. I believe it's like a 12,500 year. I think it's either our galaxy. I think it's our galaxy. Or, like calendar of sort. And in that time frame, you have Pisces. I think I'm cooking. You have Taurus. You have a bunch of other ones. I'm just gonna name them. And during the, I believe, I don't know if we're currently still in Pisces. Yes. But in this time period, we were in the Pisces era, like the era of Pisces. So that's why that fish. I have no idea. Fish became kind of like correlated to this time, and I guess it got correlated to Christianity because of most of Western civilizations adopted Catholicism or what is Orthodox Christianity. Okay, that's a little bit of conflation. Let's just say Christianity, and I say Catholicism, but obviously there's Protestantism, Protestants, and Catholics.
No. Actually, okay, sure, said Constantine, moving the capital way over here to be closer to his main rival. Don't worry about Rome, it won't fall.
Boom. Oh. Sort of. Close.
There's the Gupta Empire, not Chandragupta, just Gupta. First name Chandra. The first. Guess who's in Rome? Barbarians. What's a barbarian? Non-Romans, said the Romans, being invaded by non-Romans. R.I.P.
The Huns, every single person that was adopted into the Roman Empire that didn't want to be there, that saw an opportunity, that are opportunistic and advantageous. More like the Goths and the Vandals, like the Visigoths, the Ostrogoths, and the Vandals. The Franks, took over the Gaulish area, and Vandals took over North Africa. Visigoths took over Spain. Ostrogoths took over Italy. The Goths, etc., etc.
Roman Empire, or actually just half of it. The other half is just fine, but it's not in Rome anymore, so let's give it a new name. The Mayans have figured out the stars. Oh, and
I'm so sad about the Mayans, bro. Why? They were so advanced, and they just got wiped out. Little do I know that I'm most likely actually thinking about the Aztecs and how they were wiped out due to the biological disadvantage of not living with what do you call those things? What do you call those things? The animals. The domesticated animals. That's what I'm thinking of. Sad.
And here's a huge city, population everyone. The Gok Turks have taken over the entire Eurasian steppe. Great job, Gok Turks. How's India? Broken. How's China? Back together. How's those trading kingdoms? Bigger and there's more of them. Korea has 3 kingdoms. Japan has a kingdom. It's the Sunrise Kingdom. Deep in the Arabian desert, on the top of a mountain, the real God
Muhammad.
is here. So he goes down to the cube where everyone worships gods, and he tells them their gods are all fake. And everyone got so mad at him that he had to leave town and go to a different town. You can make a religion out of this.
And the great thing about this is I had no idea about the history of Islam at all. And then where I really got educated on this was really via the Kings and Generals early Muslim expansion playlist, like 3 huge, like 2 to 3 hour videos. Wow, what a trip.
Maybe conquer the world as well.
Caliphate, the Rashidun, and then you get the Umayyads, and then Abbasids. So good. Yep.
The Roman Empire is long gone, but somehow the Pope is still the Pope. Plus, there's new kingdoms all over Europe.
Yep. So now we're in that kind of like medieval time where you have a lot of kingdoms. This is I wouldn't say medieval. Middle Ages. Middle Ages, predating Charlemagne and the Frankish kingdom. Britain's kind of like going back and forth. There's just Britain, Scotland, and Ireland have a lot of different kingdoms. You have like this time period. I don't think we're in the Heptarchy yet, but we're getting there. In Spain, where you have the Moors, where you have a lot of Islam. We're way before that. Like caliphate influence. Rome's pretty. I'm not too off though. Much like the Papal State and a little bit of here and a little bit there. Like you got Venice, you got some principalities. And then you have like the countryside, which is pretty much just different peoples. A lot of migrating peoples. The Germanic peoples eventually will settle up north. Then you get like a lot of the Finns and the Swedish people up top. But it's very, by the way, the Germanic peoples are already there where I'm saying that they're there. Interesting to kind of like see a lot of the migrations kind of like grow. Like a lot of the people shrink just because of and it's not necessarily the people shrink, but more or less the territory they covered shrink. I think I'm meaning like the Magyars, for example, that becomes Hungary. Their territory shrinks, or like Bulgaria. I don't know what I'm saying. So when we're looking at a map, always remember the population does not equal the amount of land someone has. And if a lot of the per capita is not the per geography. People have a lot of land. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a lot of people.
I wonder if
Siberia is a good example.
Here's all the wisdom.
I love how,
In a house. It's the Baghdad House of Wisdom. Just in time for the Islamic Golden Age.
It's so sad that we'll definitely look at this together, guys. But definitely, it's so sad in the Middle East. The Middle East is probably the most walked over place in the entire world, just because of how many civilizations and empires and kingdoms and wars and crusades and everything has taken. I mean, from Egypt to Pakistan to Turkey, that area, that like trifecta of that little triangulated area, that wasn't pretty bad. That wasn't bad at all. Only difference now I would say is the Maghreb, the Arabian Peninsula, and to like Balakistan and Oxiana. That would be the only difference I would say today. Has you know, so many people have died there. So many people have conquered and has sacked. There are graveyards of empires all throughout that region, that area. A lot of these things that, like, I'm not sure about the Baghdad. What was it? House of Wisdom.
House. It's the Baghdad House of Wisdom.
This is the Baghdad House of Wisdom. We'll have to look that one up. But so I'll learn about that later. Unfortunately, the Mongols will be the segue here. There's so many different places, whether it be old Mesopotamia, that area, or just so many different areas within that that scope of what I mentioned that does not exist anymore. Has yeah, I mean, sort of. Baghdad's still a thing. I know what I'm talking about though. I'm speaking about like how things come and go. It's been ransacked. It's been pillaged. Yes, like this place. That's what happens when you have so many conflicting forces meeting. It's more or less like the pressure point. Like, this is the tectonic plate that continues to shake. It's the Middle East, and it's been this way forever. Just because this is the pot. This is the melting pot of the world is the Middle East.
Just in time for the Islamic Golden Age. Let's go step to the coast of the Shelf and become the Swahili on the Swahili coast, said the Swahili on the Swahili.
Swahilis?
Remember this tiny space you have to go through to get from here to there? Someone owns that now.
Hmm.
In the middle of nowhere.
Tibetan Empire.
In Europe, and the Pope is so proud that he invites the king over for Christmas. Surprise, you're the new Roman emperor, said the.
And I think there's a thing that Charlemagne's kind of like related to everybody in Western Europe. Technically, isn't that everyone related to everyone? I think there's a paradox with that. Pretty sure.
Pope pretending to still be part of the Roman Empire. Then the Franks broke their kingdom into what will later be called.
And it's not even just West Francia and East Francia. There's also a Middle Francia. Not yet, but there will be. Yeah, as well. Kind of like between those two.
France and not France. The Northerners, or just Norse if you don't have much time, are exploring. They go north, from the north to the northern north, and they find some land.
Greenland.
Accordingly. They also invade some other places and get called many names, such as Vikings. There's the Rus, the Kievan Rus. Are they Vikings? I don't think so, said the Kievan Rus. Okay, fair enough.
So we're about 1000 AD right now.
The Pope is ready to make some more emperors of the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire.
I don't think I realized when I was watching this, like the Kievan Rus was really like how the Russians were like half Slavic, half Norse.
Germany, but don't worry about it. New kingdoms. Which brand would you like? Mine's better. Mine's better. Mine's better. Time to conquer England, said William. It's a bird.
So now we're at 1066.
Is the Seljuk Turks, said the Byzantine Empire, who's getting so small it almost doesn't exist anymore. We need help. They need help, so they call the Pope. Hey, Pope, can you help us get rid of the Seljuks? Maybe take back the Holy Land on the way? Come on, I know you want to take back the Holy Land. Yes, I do actually want to do that. Let's do a crusade. Crusade! They did many crusades.
And this is also way before I knew anything really about the Crusades, like the Pilgrim Crusades, and like basically just the ambiguous like pleadings with the knights and the French and so many people to say, hey, if you do this, you're gonna get into heaven. And so it's just crazy to think about. And then all those big names like was it Edmund and see, now I'm gonna freaking start, one starts with T, Boymond, Baldwin, all these guys. One starts with a T. I can't remember his name, but they all kind of like coalesce in Antioch, and of course the siege of Jerusalem, and kind of harsh, kind of very harsh.
Some of which almost didn't fail, but at least the Italians got some sweet trade deals.
It's crazy how much this was East versus West with the Crusades. More about ideology, yeah. It's just amazing. Amazing. A lot of things just coming down to, we believe this is the land that we must own. We're the chosen people. We will do whatever, no compromise.
Goodbye, Mayans.
Like I said, sad. Goodbye. But like, yeah, like I don't think I realized that it wasn't, I don't know, Mayans.
Goodbye, Toltecs. Hello, Mississippi.
All right, so we're in the Mississippian area. I've actually been to there's a place called Moundville Archaeological Park. It's
Very proud of
very
that.
close to me, actually. I didn't dox myself. Oh well.
Oh.
Who cares? Yeah, it's part of the Mississippian tribe where you have like, I don't know if it's a tribe, but it's a peoples, right? That they're kind of like in proximity of the Mississippi River, and so forth. mounds like you see here, which were more or less like government building plateaus. I, temples, But Nubian people are not villages. the only people in North America. I'm sure, I don't know if it covers it anymore, whether it be North American tribes. Tons of North American tribes, right? Like tribes, right? Confederacies or peoples. That's a better way to say it. All throughout North America, from Alaska to Florida. Obviously, we covered Latin America. You also have like the Sioux. You have I'm gonna name some. You have the Apache culture. You have the Pueblos in the West.
Yeah.
Lots of those.
Look at those
Yeah.
mounds. There's the Pueblo. I always wondered
That's just
how to build a town on
crazy.
a cliff. Guess who's here? Come here. Where? Here. And Pagan is there.
And then Cambodia and then the Khmer temples. So cool to learn about that.
Vietnam unconquered itself, Korea just became itself, and Japan is so addicted to art that the military might have to take over the government.
Shoguns. This is where you get the samurai.
China
Yes, you get the samurai, but you also get the shogun, and you get like all that crazy warlord era.
just invented bombs and typing, and the Mongols just invaded most of the universe. Nice going, Genghis. I bet.
Now, of course, this is where another empire quickly comes and quickly goes.
Last a long time. Some of the Islamic Turks were unaffected by the Mongol invasions because they were busy invading India. Is it Tonga time? I think it's Tonga time.
The Tonga time, so Pacific Ocean. This is everything Polynesian. Doesn't have to. I don't know if it's Polynesian. There's Melanesian, there's Micronesian, and there's Polynesian. One of the three.
I just found out where the Swahili gets all their gold. Look at this Chad. Means lake. There's an empire there, right in the middle of Africa. The king of Mali is so rich he's going on tour to let everyone know. Wow, that guy's rich, everyone said. The Christians.
Did he actually go on tour just to tell people he's rich? Or no, definitely not, right? It's just like, maybe, I don't even know if we can say it was him, or was it his diplomats? Don't know. I don't know. Diplomatic.
They're doing a great job reconquering Iberia, which will soon be called Spain and not Spain. Please
Yeah.
remain Christian. We will check in later to see if you're still Christian when you least expect. Whoops, half of Europe just died. China's back, yay! Hey, come here, time to share. New kingdoms here and there. Oh, look who controls all the islands. It's the Mahajapit, Majahapit, Mapajahit, Mahapajit, Mapajahit, Majapahit. Oh, who's really rich? Time for them to care a lot about art in the ancient classics.
So we're in the Renaissance.
It's kind of like a rebirth. Here's a printer, let's make books.
Right, and then I really didn't know still at this time, 500 years ago, what the rebirth Renaissance really played off of, but it obviously played off of the conservative nature of the ancients of Greece.
So you think you can conquer the Byzantine Empire? Yep, said the Ottoman Turks. Nice job, Ottoman Turks. Whoops, you missed a spot. Don't forget to ban Europe from the Indian spice trade. What? That's bullshit, said Portugal. Spiceless. Well, I guess we'll have to find another way to India. Wait, said Christopher Columbus, probably smoking crack. If the world is round, let's go this way to India. No, don't worry, we already got this, said Portugal. So Chris goes to Spain. Hey, Spain, want to hire me to find India by going around back of the world? No, please, no, please, no, please. Okay. So he sails into the ocean and discovers
The Spaniel, and there's still I have like a conflicting like narrative in my head. Does Christopher Columbus actually believe the world would have, like because of the circumference? Like they definitely knew some people knew the circumference of the world. So did they actually think the ocean was that large, or did they think that there might be territory over here? I don't know.
And Japan. Let's draw a line to decide who gets which half of the world.
Don't know that answer at all.
Aztec and Inca
What is that called again? A line to see who gets across the road.
empires are off to a great start. I wonder if they know that
Perseus?
Europe just discovered their continent. The Habsburgs are marrying into so many royal families they might have to start marrying each other.
Didn't know much about the Habsburgs at all.
Move over.
Yep.
Here comes Moscow. Ivan.
It's crazy, like when I was just talking to you guys a second ago about like the size of country, the size of population. Lithuania is huge in this. Yeah, how little do I know that that is going to shrink, and then it's going to join Poland. You'll have Polish Lithuania, and then that's going to get carved to heck and back by Austria, Prussia, and Russia. It's part of the world at this time. Today they're just a small Baltic nation, but like, look how big. Like this goes through Belarus, Ukraine, tons, like a little bit, pretty much a little bit of everything right here.
Wants to make Russia great again. Move over, Timurids. Maybe go invade India or something. Persia just made Persia Persian again.
We kind of skipped over Timor or Timor.
The other kind of Islam, the one where we thought the first guy should have been the other guy. Hey Christians, do you sin? Now you can buy your way out of hell. That's bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit.
Luther.
Fuck the church.
And then this is where you're gonna encroach on the entire European, just like chaos, right? Between the HRE, France, Spain, Habsburgs, Italy. Oh, and then you're gonna lead into the, what was it, the 30 Years' War?
95 Reasons Why, said Martin Luther in his new book, which might have accidentally started the Protestant Reformation. You know what would be magnificent, said Suleiman, wearing an onion hat? What if the Ottoman Empire was really big, which it is now? What if Russia was big, said Ivan, trying not to be terrible? Portugal had a dream that they controlled the entire Indian Ocean, including the spice trade. And then that dream was real.
It's crazy what you can do with naval power and technology, right? Because like, and that's just like a prologue for Britain. These countries, Spain, England, Portugal, the people that really colonized the world, they really did it by force of technology. They did not do it by numbers.
And Spain realized that this is not India, but they pillaged it anyway. Damn, said England.
And that is where you get all the disease.
France, we gotta start pillaging some stuff. Then the Dutch revolt and all the hipsters moved to Amsterdam. Damn, said Amsterdam. We gotta start pillaging some stuff. Question 1, can you get to India through North America? No, but at least there's beaver.
So the Dutch took New York. Some parts, yeah. I think. Yeah. The English took Canada. Quebec. English took a bunch of like New England. It was taken by French. So the French, it went like a sandwich of France, England, Dutch.
Question 2, steal the spice trade. That's not a question, but the Dutch did it anyway.
I wonder if like that Dutch colonization of New Amsterdam, which eventually becomes New York, does that colonization around this time include the ancestors of Martin van Buren? Oh, I'm so stuck on the Dutch. I don't know. I do know that I'm looking at a Dutch ship, and I'm probably going to talk about VOC. I'm probably going to talk about how I have a coin of VOC, who was our only Dutch president.
Guess where all the sugar's made? In Brazil. Stolen in the Caribbean. And it's so goddamn profitable, you might forget to not do slavery. The next thing on Russia's to-do list is to get bigger. Britain and France are having a friendly discussion about who should control the entire world. More specifically, Ohio. Then
Okay, so basically have Quebec leaning into what eventually would become the Louisiana Purchase, while Britain is kind of sandwiching them.
it escalates into a 7-year discussion, giving pressure to show Austria.
The 7 Years' War, I had no idea about Prussia, really. No idea about all this conflict and how it was worldwide. This is literally World War Zero.
Who's boss? But what about Britain and France? Did they figure out who's boss? Yes, they did.
And how Austria was just so crazy with like, what was her name? Louise? I don't know. Can't remember.
Britain. Guess who's broke? Also Britain. So they start taxing the hell out of America.
Not just America, but every I believe all the Commonwealth had pretty much the similar like shake. It was just more or less the sentiment of the Americas.
Fuck you, says America, declaring their independence.
Yeah, and those other things too, like cutting down on bootlegging and representation, and you know, some other things.
And fighting for it, and France helps them win. Now France is broke, and Britain will have to send.
Spain and France helps us win.
Wait, if France is broke, why do the king and queen still wear such?
Let them eat brioche.
Fancy dresses. Let's overthrow the palace and cut all their heads off, said Robespierre, cutting everybody's head off until someone eventually got mad and cut his head off. You could make a No, don't.
They tried. It's funny because I think they tried. They tried. They tried to make a religion. I love how so in tune religion.
I like the idea of a revolution, especially the slaves who free themselves by killing their masters. Why didn't we think of this before? Wait, who's in charge of France now? Said Napoleon, trying to take over Europe. Luckily, they banished him to an island. But he came back. Luckily, they banished him.
And I don't think I knew much about the Napoleonic Wars. I think I knew a little bit about it, but not enough. And then just a few months later, after starting this channel, maybe like February or March of 2025. Oh, it's just never look back.
To another island. There goes Latin America becoming independent.
It's so funny how the domino effect happens from revolution to revolution. Yeah, but in this case, it was more about Spain losing their influence because of the French Napoleonic Wars.
Wars of independence. Britain just figured out how to turn steam into power.
Industrial revolution.
they invent some trains and conquer India and maybe put some trains there. Hey, China, said Britain, buy stuff from us. Nah, dude, we already got everything, says China. So Britain tried to get them addicted to opium, which worked actually. But then China.
And then of course this leads into China's like slow rise from was it the Qing or the Ming? One of those. And then adopt a warlord era and then start their rise towards from Chiang Shak to Mao.
Made it illegal and dumped it all into the sea. So Britain threw a hissy fit and made them open up 5 cities and give them an island.
Hong Kong.
Britain and Russia are playing a game where they try to stop each other from conquering Afghanistan. Also, the Sultan of Oman lives in Zanzibar now. That's just where he lives.
That's crazy. That's a very far area. That's almost like it's like it's hard to compare just because of sizes and relevancies of sizes, but that's like if the King of England lived in Canada.
India just had a revolution.
Not too far-fetched.
Themselves now. Nope, said Britain, governing them even harder than before.
Telegram. We are in that age. 1850s.
Finally figured out whether slavery is good or bad. It's bad, they decided. And then they continued manifesting their destiny, which is to kill the rest of the natives.
Imperialism.
No,
it's not. Wait, what did I say?
Whether slavery is good or bad. It's bad, they decided. And then they continued manifesting their destiny, which is to kill the rest of the natives and take their land and maybe kill.
No, it's not. Oh, I'm so nationalistic right here. It was. That's a little. I mean, that's a dangerous sentiment. That's not what manifest destiny meant. Manifest destiny did not mean that. I think it sort of did. But all I have a definite sentiment change. Last 500 days. Manifest destiny. Maybe it didn't mean that on paper, like only as true beliefs, but it definitely meant that in practice. Of nationalism for the American spirit. Meant you pretty much have the rights of the land. Problem was acclimating the Native Americans into culture and assimilating them into the culture, which is part genocide. Think about it. To the culture versus sending them to settlements. I think there should have been more politics within that. I mean, you mean more representation. To this day, to be honest, the acclimation of Native Americans, assimilation. Not talked about enough. Very sore spot in America. And there's not much assimilation when they are on. What do you call those dang things? My brain's fried. It's very late. I almost said plantations. You know what I'm talking about. They're on territories.
Too. I know, let's rape Africa, said Europe, scrambling to see who could rape it the fastest.
That's basically what it was called. I didn't know that at the time. Scramble for Africa, it's kind of called the same thing. It's kind of synonymous. But look at that. France and Britain and Germany. Dutch. Pretty much everyone.
They never got Ethiopia. Britain and France are still...
But Ethiopia would be conquered in the 40s or 30s. The 30s, I think, by Italy.
Hungry. They never got Thailand. The United States ran out of destiny to manifest, so they're looking for more. Cuba. Wait, Spain controls Cuba. Well, blame something on them and go to war. What should we blame on Spain? Let's blame the Maine on Spain. So they blame the Maine on Spain. Now we're in business. To celebrate, they kick Panama out of Panama and make a canal connecting the two oceans.
I think there was a thing I saw where Panama, I forgot was it England? Or was it Great Britain? Or was it a different country? Tried to colonize Panama in like the 1600s. I don't know. But the colony failed. I actually don't know that one. But if the colony did not fail, it would be like... It would eventually fail because of the decolonization effort in the 19th and 20th centuries. The Falkland Islands, but don't hold me to this. Like, I don't know if it was Great Britain, but if it was, it would be like the Falkland Islands. Imagine. It sounds like it'd be the Great Britain because they had Belize, they had a lot of the Caribbean islands. Panama had like a 400-year, technically like a 300-year head start of colonization. Like, what would the difference be in terms of like that relationship? It's weird. I mean, eventually, I'm sure a revolution would happen. The Panamanians. But eventually, I mean, to this day up into the 70s, we kind of controlled the canal, like that zone, correct, but not Panama per se. It was, well, I don't know if it was Operation Just Cause or something in the 80s or 90s, one of the two. 1900 to like 1977, 8, somewhere in there. I might be right what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know the dates. Interesting stuff.
Dates escape me. Britain just found oil in the Middle East. It makes cars go. China is
And
so
then they screw those countries. Uh-oh.
tired of being bossed around that they delete their old government and make it.
Isn't it crazy like how we get automobiles and like the oil had to been like, I don't buy that. What do you mean? They've had to know or oil was prior, right? They didn't understand. I don't know. They might have found. I see what I'm saying. I don't think that it wasn't like they discovered it, right? They figured out the application of it because of the Industrial Revolution. That's my hunch.
Government, which is accidentally weaker and controlled by a guy from the previous government. Europe hasn't had a war since the last war, so they start World War I. Look at those guns. It's going to be a great war. So great we won't need a second one. After it's over, they blame Germany. Russia went on strike and the workers overthrew the government. Now everyone's paycheck is the same.
Then once again, I didn't know much about the Russian Revolution. USSR.
And Britain helps. Now the Ottoman Empire's gone, so we can give the Jewish people a place to live.
And of course, that's created nothing but more problems.
Hopefully the Arabs won't mind. Let's cut the cake, said Sykes and Picot, carving up the.
And to this day, man, to this day, things just don't change.
Of the not so Ottoman anymore.
I'm a little late to the party on that comment, but yeah, one thing I didn't mention because I didn't realize this is like the arbitrary lines of drawing because of the post-World War I and World War II. Yeah, this is post-World War II dates.
More empire. Except Turkey. Turkey makes a brand new Turkey. And then the Saudis conquer Arabia. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Hello? Yes, it's the 1920s calling. Let's get in the car and drive to a party and listen to jazz on the radio and go to the movies.
We kind of retroed there.
Germany's back featuring Hitler, the angry mustache model, and he's mad at the Jews for existing. Japan is finally conquering the East, and they're so excited they raped Nanking way too hard. They should probably just deny it. Hitler's out of control, so the international community tackles him and tries to explain why killing all the Jews is a bad idea, but he kills himself before they could explain it to him. That's World War II. Bonus round, Pacific Show.
This is like oversimplified on crack.
Showdown, United States versus Japan. Fight. Finish him. Let's unite all the nations and have some world peace. Seems legit. Hi, I'm Gandhi, and if Britain doesn't get the hell out of India, I'm going to starve myself in public. Wow, that worked. Bonus, now there's Pakistan. Actually, two Pakistans. One of them could be Bangladesh later. The Jews and the Arabs finally figured out which one of them should live in the Holy Land. Me, they both said at the same time. Let's divide up the land so everyone's happy. Psych, they both get angrier.
Duh.
Look out, China. There's a new China in China. What's on the menu? Communism. No thanks, said the other China, escaping to an island. I wonder which one is the real China. There's the Korean War. Korea versus Korea. Nobody wins, then it's on pause forever. Let's meet the sponsors.
It's crazy how the economic policy, the ideology can drive a country in half. I mean, it's not crazy at all. It's politics and it's ego, just like that. Korea, Vietnam, we're in the China Cold War to
Oh,
now. Taiwan.
it's the two global superpowers. They're having a friendly debate over which economic system is good and which one is an evil virus of Satan. And they both have atom bombs. Fight! Wait, no, that would be the end of the world. Let's just keep it cool and spy on each other instead. And make sure we have enough atom bombs. I'll race you to space. Now let's make some more countries fight themselves. Europe is tired of pillaging other continents, and the continents they were pillaging are tired of being pillaged. So here's a map with new countries. Now you can't tell who they're being pillaged by. The United States finally decided whether racism is good or bad. They decided it's bad, and the world agrees. South Africa might need another minute to think about it. Let's check the world population. Whoa. Okay. Technology's better too, that might keep happening. The Soviet Union decides to relax a little and accidentally falls apart. Europe makes a union, so now they can all use the same money, except Britain because they don't feel like it. Let's check the mail. Surprise, it's on the computer. Whoops, someone just attacked America. I bet they'll remember that. Phone call. Surprise, it's in your pocket. Want to learn everything? Surprise, it's on the computer. Now your phone's a computer, which is in your pocket. Whoops, the economy just crashed. Don't worry, the big banks won't fail because they're not supposed to. Surprise, flying robots.
with bombs. Want to print a brain? Some people have no friends. Some people have no food. The globe is warming. And the ocean is full of plastic. Let's save the planet, said everybody, not knowing how. Let's invent a thing inventor, said the thing inventor after being invented by a thing inventor. That's
Wait, what was the date on that?
how. Let's invent a
Year 2028. That's interesting.
thing inventor, said the thing inventor after being invented by a thing inventor. That's pretty cool. By the way, where the hell are we?
Thank you guys so much for watching. A little breakdown real quick before we go. Like this world is 4.5 billion years, and this was like a compartmentalized. Like, it's been 40 something minutes. I can't talk. It's a lot of history, kind of like in one right here. There'd be scientific history or evolution history or geology or war history or just simply history and cultural history. It's just so much. It's just so much, and you have to. If there was an instance in time where something happened, it's good to know why, right? Whether it be a sentence, like a sentence of why something happened, like why did Rome fall? Answer in a sentence, and then.
But you can't do that in a
1,000
sentence.
more cases of that. That's the education I'm talking about. That's what we are here doing, reacting to learn together, to relearn, to reemphasize, to point out. This is what the We Project is about. All right, so we're done here. This was interesting. I might do this again in a couple of years, just to kind of see like my progress again. But overall, this was quite, fun to look back and understand really how far I have come and how you guys definitely helped me. Wow, that was interestingly funny, cringy, and inciting and enlightening all at the same time. I appreciate you guys as always. Peace out. Bye bye.